When you see a massive reptile lurking in the water with eyes just above the surface and teeth peeking out, you probably call it a crocodile, or maybe an alligator. Truth is, most people can't tell the difference, and that's okay. These ancient predators look like they were cut from the same mold. But here's the catch. Crocodiles and alligators aren't identical. They're cousins. And the differences between them can be the difference between life and death if you ever meet one face to face. First things first, the snout. That's the easiest giveaway. Crocodiles have a long, narrow, V-shaped snout. It's sharp, designed for grabbing fish and slicing through prey. Alligators, on the other hand, sport a wider U-shaped snout. Think of it like this. Crocodiles have the pointy snout of a dagger, while alligators have the broad snout of a mallet. Once you notice that, you'll never confuse the two again. Second clue, the teeth. Crocodiles are the ones with the sinister grin. When their mouths are closed, their upper and lower teeth interlock, sticking out in all directions, giving them a jagged, toothy smile. Alligators? Their top jaw is wider than their bottom jaw, so when they close their mouths, their teeth are hidden. If you see teeth even when the mouth is shut, congratulations, that's a crocodile. Now let's talk size. Both are huge, no doubt, but crocodiles generally take the crown. The saltwater crocodile, for example, is the largest reptile on Earth, reaching lengths over 20 feet. Alligators are still massive, but rarely get that big. If you're looking at a beast the size of a small car, odds are it's a crocodile. But here's where things get more interesting. Temperament. Alligators, believe it or not, are usually less aggressive toward humans. That doesn't mean you should test it, but in general, alligators prefer to avoid confrontation unless threatened. Crocodiles, however, are notorious for being unpredictable and highly aggressive. The Nile and saltwater crocodiles are especially infamous. If it moves and fits in their mouth, they'll attack it. Geography helps too. If you're in the United States, especially Florida or Louisiana, you're almost always dealing with an alligator. In fact, alligators are native only to the US and China. Crocodiles, on the other hand, are more widespread, found across Africa, Asia, Australia, and parts of the Americas. Florida is one of the few places on Earth where both species live side by side. Now here's a subtle difference most people miss: skin color. Alligators usually look darker, almost blackish-gray, which helps them blend into the murky swamps they call home. Crocodiles tend to have a lighter olive-brown shade, matching the sandy rivers and coastal areas they prefer. If you see dark, shadowy scales, that's an alligator. If you see something with a more tan or greenish tint, that's a crocodile. Let's not forget saltwater tolerance. Crocodiles are built for the ocean. They have special salt glands in their tongues that excrete excess salt, allowing them to thrive in saltwater environments. That's why saltwater crocodiles can cruise through estuaries and even out to sea. Alligators, on the other hand, lack efficient salt glands, so they stick mostly to freshwater swamps and rivers. See one lounging by the coast, that's a crocodile. And speaking of lounging, let's talk behavior. Alligators tend to bask in groups, sunbathing together like giant armored logs. Crocodiles are more solitary, fiercely territorial, and prefer to keep their space. If you see a crowd of big reptiles stacked together, you're probably looking at alligators. If you see one alone, silently waiting like a statue, that's more likely a crocodile. Here's something that might surprise you. Despite their scary appearance, alligators have been known to coexist near humans with relatively few attacks. Crocodiles? Not so much. Nile crocodiles, for instance, kill hundreds of people every year. Their aggression combined with their size makes them some of the most dangerous animals in the world. Crocodiles don't just lurk, they strategize, ambush, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. Fun fact, crocodiles have been around for more than 200 million years. That means they walked the earth alongside dinosaurs. Alligators, while younger, still go back around 37 million years. Both species are living fossils, survivors of mass extinctions, climate shifts, and the rise and fall of empires. Their differences may seem small, but together, they've perfected survival. And let's not forget their bite force. Crocodiles have the strongest bite in the animal kingdom, measuring over 3,500 pounds per square inch. That's like having a small car dropped on you. Alligators aren't far behind. but crocodiles still take the trophy. Ironically though, the muscles that open their jaws are weak. A human could hold a crocodile's mouth shut with duct tape, though I don't recommend trying. Here's another fascinating difference: parenting. Both crocodiles and alligators are attentive mothers, guarding their nests and helping their hatchlings reach water. But crocodile moms are famously more aggressive in defense, charging anything that gets too close. Alligator mothers are protective too, but not quite as ferocious. So to recap, pointy V-shaped snout, crocodile; broad U-shaped snout, alligator; teeth showing when mouth is closed, crocodile; hidden teeth, alligator; dark and swampy, alligator; lighter and coastal, crocodile; friendly-ish, that's the alligator; ruthless and deadly, crocodile every time. The next time someone points and says, "Look, a crocodile," you'll know whether to correct them or run. Because while both are ancient, powerful predators, crocodiles are generally bigger, meaner, and deadlier. Alligators may look just as intimidating, but when it comes down to survival of the fiercest, crocodiles win by a mile. And that's the secret behind two of the most misunderstood animals on Earth. They may look the same at first glance, but once you know the signs, you'll never confuse them again. And trust me, when you're in crocodile territory, that knowledge could save your life. So what do you think? Did you already know the difference, or would you have guessed wrong? Either way, hit that subscribe button, because this is just one of many animal mysteries we're uncovering. From dolphins with built-in sonar to sloths with hidden swimming skills, the natural world is full of secrets waiting to blow your mind.